Besides YouTube, LinkedIn articles are my favorite way in order to post content online that attracts eyeballs and customers for my 8-figure company. And in this video, I'm going to show you why LinkedIn articles are critical for the growth of your business. And then we're going to set one up from scratch so you know exactly how you can do the same. There are two main ways to share content on LinkedIn currently. Number one is going to be posts. This is typically shorter form content, and this models what you see on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms. But number two is LinkedIn articles. And this is something pretty unique to LinkedIn. And it's an opportunity that most people overlook when they're trying to attract more eyeballs for their business on LinkedIn. LinkedIn articles are essentially like blogs that you get to share on LinkedIn, except for you don't have to go through the hassle of setting up a website and then trying to drive traffic to your blog. Instead, you can natively create a blog on the LinkedIn platform through articles. And when you do that, it becomes very easy for you to share content to your target market. And on top of that, LinkedIn also puts you inside the algorithm, and then it actually finds traffic for you. I've actually seen sometimes even people showing up inside Google search results with their LinkedIn articles, which would be very difficult to do if you're just trying to start a blog. So let's dive in and let me show you how to create a viral LinkedIn article. So you may be familiar with this page here. This is essentially the LinkedIn dashboard or the LinkedIn homepage screen. And as you can see, you can start a post at the very top, just like most platforms are, but that's not what we're going to do today. Instead, we're going to come down to the bottom right here where it says write an article. And then I'm going to pick on my regular profile in order to write this article or post this article from. And then now we are already on the actual article page. Once again, you can see how incredibly easy this is compared to trying to create a website and creating a blog post on your own. Now you can see you have most of your writing tools at the top here: bold, italic. You can change the fonts. You can add in numbers, you can add in bullets. Then you actually have the headline, and we're going to talk about the headline here in a moment, how important it is. Then you have the cover image, which is almost as important as the headline because these two are going to play together to get you a high click-through rate, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then down here, you can actually start typing in your article. You can share it. It could be a few hundred words, it could be a few thousand words. And I'm actually going to show you an example of an article that I've created once we get down to this point. Now let's scroll back up to the headline itself. Now, the headline is arguably the most important thing of your article, and I see so many people kind of sleeping on it. They just type something out that may or may not be interesting because they save all of the best content for the article itself. But if you know anything about copywriting, you'll know that essentially every line of copy is getting someone's permission to read the next line. So if you start with a weak headline, you're probably not going to have anybody even click on your article to read it in the first place. So you need to spend probably 70% of your time on the headline deciding what is the thing that is going to invoke emotion and invoke enough curiosity that's going to get this person to click on this actual article. And if you know anything about search engine optimization, you can even put specific keywords in the headline so that you can rank or be put inside LinkedIn's algorithm accordingly. For example, if I was trying to create a LinkedIn article on how to create LinkedIn articles, then I might do a headline around how to create a viral LinkedIn article, a step-by-step guide. And when I do something like that, then in number one, it has the emotional aspect of the viral part of it where someone's like, wow, I want a viral article. And number two, it has the keyword aspect of it by saying how to create a LinkedIn article step by step. So if someone comes into either Google or they come into LinkedIn and they type in how to create a LinkedIn article, if I actually have a great headline, a great cover photo, and great content, people are sharing it, then I have a really good chance of showing up in the top search results for that search. So for the example article here, I'm actually going to take another article that I've already written, which was how we went from $0 to $5 million plus in 2 years. And I'm actually going to copy this headline here, and I'm going to turn that into the headline of this new article, just as an example. Now, the reason why I like that headline, this was something I posted a year ago, is because it's, once again, a step-by-step guide, which people really love. And on top of it, it's kind of a bold claim. It's like, wow, how would someone go from $0 to $5 million in under 2 years? And then if I can match this headline with a curiosity-driven cover photo, then I'm going to have what's known as a high click-through rate. And LinkedIn cares about click-through rates because it is their indication that people see what you're posting and they actually want to learn more about it. For example, if I said something instead along the lines of, how I grew my business, it probably wouldn't be as appealing to anybody who doesn't know who I am. And so this headline actually appeals to anybody that's looking to grow their business, and it kind of shows my credibility in here as well. Now, the next thing that plays into the virality of your LinkedIn article and the chance of actually getting seen by other people is going to be the cover image. And you don't want to put a weak cover image on here. You don't want to put this bland cover image on here. And please, for the love of God, do not put a stock cover image on here. Instead, do something that's going to play into the actual title itself. For example, it's really similar to a YouTube thumbnail. So a YouTube thumbnail and the YouTube title are really, really important for someone to actually be able to watch your video. If your thumbnail and your title don't play along with each other, if they invoke any kind of confusion, then someone's just going to skip right past it. So if we go back over to the article that I actually wrote, you can see I took a screenshot of one of our roadmaps. So we have a roadmap to building a business to $1 million. And you can see that I actually took a screenshot of a small part of it and I put it as the cover photo here. So why do I like this as the cover photo? Well, because what it does is it invokes that curiosity, and it also kind of shows somebody that this isn't going to be some high level content, because unfortunately I think that most content online when it comes to business is just telling people to, like work harder and, be inspired, where that's not really that helpful, at least not to my target market. They actually want a step-by-step guide, and this looks like it's a real step-by-step guide. So it's like kind of a teaser of what's to come. So if I go back over to here, I can actually drag this photo because I already put it on here, and I'm going to drag it right on that spot there, and you'll see that LinkedIn's loading it, and then boom, I have the exact same cover photo as I did before. If I wanted to, I could possibly turn this into something else interesting, like I could put a photo of me in front of my plane or a photo of me in front of my car, once again validating that $0 to $5 million thing. Now, don't hate me in the comments because I talked about putting a photo of me in front of the car. It's just simply authority building. So if I said how I went from $0 to $5 million in 2 years, and then there's the photo of me in front of a Lamborghini, it lends credibility to the fact that I actually made $5 million, even though we all know you can rent a Lamborghini for 4 hours for a few $1,000s. So let's scroll down a little bit more here, and this is where we can actually start writing the article itself. Now, the way that I write the article and the way I suggest you writing the article is incredibly important, because once again, people do not like reading blocks of text. And this is where you kind of turn over to that blog formatting itself. And if I go back over to the article that I wrote, I'm going to scroll down really quickly through this. You can see that I have photos in here. I have hyperlinks as well. There's a lot of white space, which people actually enjoy when they're reading an article. They don't just want blocks and blocks of text. There's bullets, which makes it very easy to read as well. If I scroll down here, I think there's more images that you can see. So here's some more images. It's validation. This is actually hyperlinked to our case study page that you can check out. Then it shows like what a training looks like. That's hyperlinked to our training. I'm hyperlinking more text around here. So you can see like this is very an engaged article that someone's able to read. A few quick tips I have when you're writing these articles is, number one, try to use as much white space as possible. I see a lot of people make the mistake and they crunch all their text together in one block of text, and nobody wants to read that. I mean, you can see this is a massive amount of white text that's inside this article here because it's very easy on the eyes. Remember what I said earlier about copywriting. You're simply getting someone's permission to read the next line. So you want them to be able to be like, okay, this is easy to read. This is easy on my eyes. I can follow this. And I don't care how sophisticated your market is. You could be talking to like Harvard graduate, MBAs, engineers. You still should make this stuff as simple as possible, because with the advent of social media, our attention span is like less than 5 seconds now. So once again, anytime someone's a little bit confused, they're probably just going to hop off and not read the article itself. All right, so if we go back over to my LinkedIn brand new article, I'm actually going to paste some text that I already have here just so I can show you a few examples. So if I pasted the text, you can see that I've already hyperlinked that link right there, which actually takes people over to one of our sales letters. So one of my main goals with LinkedIn articles is to move people over to my website and my sales letters in order to convince them to potentially work with us if it's a good fit, right? And so a great way you can do that is by adding hyperlinks inside of the blog post or the article. So all you would do is double tap the actual word itself, come up here, and you can click add a LinkedIn URL, and then I'll just add in our website, and you can see right there, boom. Now, when they're reading the article, if I were to say something like, following this simple formula, I can hyperlink that simple formula and send that to a training where I maybe walk through much more in depth what the formula is. And like my previous article over here, you see that there's an image. So let me just come down here and add an image as well. So I'm going to click enter, and then I can add this little plus thing here, and I can add an image, a video, slides, links. So let me just click on image. Great. And then I'm going to drag and drop once again another image here. put that there, makes it easy on the eyes, makes it easy to read. And then I can also add a hyperlink. So I can once again link back to my sales page where I want them to watch the actual training itself. So as you can see here, it becomes incredibly simple to start creating a very, very easy to read, a very in-depth article that showcases, teaches, and gives credibility to yourself and to your audience so that you're able to then convert those eyeballs over to your website, your business, your products, your services. And I have had articles that I published a year ago, 2 years ago, that still to this day, because we have tracking and attribution, I know generates us like dozens of booked appointments every few months. And those people are worth quite a bit to our company. And it's all because I took the time to actually type it out here. So let's say I was done with my article. All I would do at this point is come up here and click publish, and then it's actually going to encourage me to share this with my audience. So I could say something along the lines of, I just published an article, on how to go from $0 to $5 million in 2 years. Please be sure to check it out and share. And then that would put it on my actual profile. Then I could feature it on my profile as well, so other people could see it whenever they visit my profile. And then now it would go inside the LinkedIn algorithm. It would start being potentially shown on Google search results as well, and it would start generating a lot of traffic to this. And I created this with no technical skills. I don't have like a blog. I'm not a blogger. I'm not having to drive traffic to myself. I'm simply leveraging the LinkedIn article feature here in order to generate a lot of new business for my company by simply posting content the correct way on there. 6 tips in order to optimize your LinkedIn profile for your business. Number 1 is going to be your profile and cover photo. This one seems simple, but I'm amazed at how many people I still see have a blurry profile photo and almost no cover photo at all. You have to understand that when someone lands on your LinkedIn page, if you do some of the stuff that we're talking about